What's up, guys and gals? It's the Tyrant here, and welcome back to my Halo 5 Guardians Mythic Difficulty walkthrough. That's Legendary All Skulls on, no saves, no deaths, and scoring applied. Today we are doing the 15th and final mission of Halo 5 Guardians, entitled Guardians. Now, you may notice by the timestamp of this video that it's not very long, and that's because I basically Frankensteined this mission between slow and steady and speedrunning. Now, some of you might say, Tyrant, the skips are so cheap. Trust me, you're going to appreciate it because the alternative is essentially watching me camp around in the Mantis for over an hour. This is a much better way to go, and I'm going to show you just how to do it. Now, the skip itself, while it seems complicated, I was able to nail within one afternoon, and thus saving me quite a bit of time and should save you quite a bit of time as well. Most of this mission is going through fairly quickly, but there are some parts where we're going to have to slow things down just a little bit. FYI, you probably know from playing this without the blind skull on that you lose your shields right here. However, you do get them back. The game is nice to you in that way. Of course, there is Cortana's Guardian right there. And so for the first part of this mission, if you go back to that previous area, or going back to that previous area, there's a lot of weapons that you can pick up. You don't really need to. The weapons you have will suffice for now. You'll be replacing the pistol later on with the Vorpal Talon, but for now, we're just going to hang out with the battle rifle. That's all you really need here. And so now we're just waiting for Cortana to stop her bantering and let us get on the way with the mission. It's a little irritating if you die in this area just because it takes so long to get there. So I'm going to go back and forth and just just jump right to the platform right here, get a nice little head start. If you keep bouncing, it pushes you along quite nicely. And so when we park down to this area, look to the left, and there's going to be a Jackal Ranger there. You want to take him out first. There he goes. So quickly sprint and boost your way over the left-hand side. This tends to be safer than going to the right, where you're typically downed by soldier snipers. So keep going, keep boosting. Right past here, a pair of soldier captains with splinter turrets will spawn. We're going to jump right over them. The door will open up right away. Keep going. Try not to get sniped in the process. Move to the left. If you need to get your shields back, hit the watcher and you should be fine. Nice way to get your shields back. Keep running to the left. There's going to be a pair of focus turrets over here. You're going to want to jump and sprint and boost right to the center of them and keep moving. Keep going as fast as you can. Touch the door so it will open and then move around to the right there, and you should be pretty safe. But keep going. If you need to, you can hide behind here to get away from the turret's blast. Once they've fired, go ahead. You're going to want to run to the Mantis. When this happens, a Phantom will descend on you and a couple of soldiers will spawn as well. We're going to use the Mantis right here to take them all out. We want to clear this area out. Now, if you wanted to, you could theoretically just take the Ghost and speed away, but thanks to the black eye skull and not having any shields, it's going to be very difficult to do. So you have one elite you have to worry about. Don't worry, he's just a ranger. You have a few grunts, a couple of jackals, and a pair of soldiers. And these are just regular soldiers, so you don't have to worry too much about them. Just slowly take everything out. It shouldn't take you too long, especially since these enemies will be fighting each other. So just take your time right here. The elite's really going to be your biggest problem since he's going to be constantly chucking grenades at you. The soldiers aren't that bad, but the elite has shields, so just keep that in mind, even though he only has minor shields compared to the warrior class elites. So go ahead and check out the area, make sure there's no other enemies left. We do have one soldier, so we're going to go ahead and deal with him real quick. Remember, the Mantis does have recharging shields, even though you don't. Even on Mythic Difficulty, you should be fine. So once all the enemies are down, what you want to do is make sure you have your pistol equipped, and you're going to jump up here, and you're going to go ahead and you're going to get the Vorpal Talon. Now, why this particular energy sword is important is because it allows you to stabilize longer and allows you to thrust twice in a row. And both of those features are going to be very important. If you want, you can tell your allies to select that core, but you don't really need to. So just go ahead and keep going up this way right here. There's going to be several crawlers as well as a Promethean Knight. This is a Commander Knight with an incineration cannon. We want to take all these guys out. Now, I've noticed occasionally a pair of soldiers will spawn as well, a little more to the other side. Don't worry about them too much. Again, you're in the Mantis, so you should be able to deal with them without too much of an issue. But stay back. I would not be a hero on this one. Just take your time, take out the enemies, and watch out for that Promethean Knight. Now, with the Promethean Knight, he's pretty easy to dodge. Usually he fires the incineration cannon at full charge, but you can see it coming from a distance and easily just straight to the left or the right. Occasionally he'll fire a burst of splinter rounds instead, usually in bursts of 6. Again, those are a little bit more difficult to dodge, but they do far less damage, so even if one tags you, it's not that big of a deal. So again, just slowly deal with taking these guys out. Now, while we're here, I'm going to go ahead and discuss what we'll be doing next. Essentially, we're going to be skipping the entire core sequence, as well as going into the building and fighting off all those Prometheans. Now, when you do this, most of this is just simply being able to look at certain locations and getting to that location. Sometimes you'll have to be very careful of where you step. Other times, you just have to make sure that you boost at the right time. Most of these are going to be visual cues, but at the end of this skip, it's going to be all audio cues because you're going to be on a very short time sequence that you have to time perfectly. If you do something too soon, the next area won't load and you'll fall to your death. If you do it too late, then you won't be able to get to that area at all. So it's a very specific timing sequence that you need to deal with. Fortunately, you have audio cues to help you get there. All of them are lines by Spartan Locke. I was going to say Sergeant Locke for a second. So I want you to get these in your head now. Okay, and I'll say them again once the time comes. But at the end, when you're trying to skip to the final area, there's going to be 3 audio cues. The first one is going to be when Spartan Locke says, only one of us needs to reach the relay to stop her. At that point, you're going to boost out to a certain structure that you'll recognize when we get to it. The second cue is going to be, we didn't come all this way to watch her leave. That's the cue. I had to think about it for a second. And so with that one, you're going to start charging up a ground pound. And then as soon as he says exuberant, which is the first word, when he says exuberant, lower the shield, you're going to release the ground pound exactly where I show you to release it. So just keep those in mind. There's 3 lines. Only one of us needs to reach the relay to stop her. We didn't come all this way to watch her leave. And exuberant, lower the shield. Keep those in mind. The rest are going to be visual cues, and you can pretty much take your time with them. So again, we're just taking our time. Now, a nice way to get rid of this knight is just to simply use the machine gun, and you can still shoot at the vents. Remember, the machine gun with the Mantis isn't as accurate as, say your battle rifle or a light rifle, but it can still get the job done. Just make sure you don't stand in one place for too long so that you don't get tagged by that incineration cannon. Now, you can usually survive one direct hit from it on Mythic, but I wouldn't bet on it. I don't know if you really want to take that gamble or not. Usually, if I just get clipped by it, it's not that big of a deal as long as I don't get too hit somewhere else. So here we go. Now that this area is clear, you're pretty good to actually start the skip. You can technically just run up by all these enemies, but you're more likely going to get tagged. Be careful not to walk too far here because you're going to have soldiers with snipers with binary rifle spawn. So first, you're going to get out of the Mantis. Make sure you have the Vorpal Talon armed, and you're going to go ahead and jump, boost, and you should get high enough that you can actually get to this rock. So now aim right here. You're going to jump, boost once, stabilize, and then boost a second time to get all the way across. Now look at that little black spot right there. You're going to want to go ahead and jump, boost once, a second time if you need to, and it should put you behind the map. If you fall through, you're going to have to start over. Move here. Once you start sliding to the left, boost through, and then look up here. At that point, you're going to want to look in this direction. Going to crosswalk a little bit if you start to slip. Now when you get to the wall right here, you're going to want to go ahead and easily just slowly start strafing to the left. Once you start moving by yourself, there we go, boost twice and it should get you through the wall. This is on top of the building. Now there's a barrier right here, so you're going to want to have to crouch down, move to the left, and stay behind these rocks, otherwise the turrets can actually reach you from here. Now slowly straight to the left until you drop down. Then you're going to want to jump, boost once, and ground pound to this location right here. There's a structure right there, okay? You're going to want to sprint, boost once, and stabilize. As soon as that building is almost out of the picture, as soon as the background changes, you're going to want to boost twice to the right, climb up these rocks right here. Then you're going to want to boost right to this little ledge. Missed it just a second, but you got a little bit of time here. So boost to the ledge. and then aim just to the right of this structure. As soon as lock says only one of us needs to reach the relay, then boost to it, and then as soon as he says only one of, or we didn't come this far just to watch or leave, hold the ground pound, then you want to aim in that exact spot just to the left of that little pillar, and as soon as he says exuberant, release the ground pound, and you should be able to get back into the map and be able to finish the mission. One other thing I want to point is when you stabilize the first time, when you get those bars, not the second time, but the first time, then you also want to hold the thumbstick to the right and jam the jump button before the background changes, and then you boost right twice. So keep that in mind, practice it, and it will be a cinch to you. It'll be like second nature. And that brings a close to the Halo 5 Mythic Difficulty walkthrough. That's the final mission, and that brings a conclusion to the game itself. We are done, folks. We are done, ladies and gentlemen. So what did you think about it? Are you ready to try this yourself? What mission looks like it's going to be the hardest to you? Which mission is going to be easiest? Which one do you want to start with? And I want to hear about your mythic journeys as you embark on them. I'd love for you to talk to me about this walkthrough and the pros and cons of the missions that you think are going to be hardest and easiest. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below, or feel free to hit me up on Twitter at MythicTyrant. A link to my Twitter feed can be found in the description below. And I really hope that this works for you. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here and see it. Don't forget to check out the written version on halo.bungie.org that's in the current process of being made, and I hope you're able to find this useful on your own mythic journey. And also get those mythic emblems on Halo Waypoint. Thank you guys and gals so much for watching. I hope you'll consider subscribing for more great content right here on MythicTyrant.com. I will catch you all right back here next time. And as always, I'm the Tyrant, signing off.